Reality TV series Giuliana and Bill followed E! News anchor Giuliana Rancic and her husband Bill Rancic, who was the Season 1 winner of The Apprentice. But while viewers were let in on much of the couple's lives, there were some things the cameras didn't show. Here's a peek behind the scenes. Giuliana and Bill all started when Giuliana invited the Style Network to film the couple's wedding in Italy. But what Bill didn't know then was that the event would be the start of their very own reality series. The wedding special was a hit and the show was born.
I vow to be the best wife and mother I can be when we do have a child, and I hope it looks just like you, because you're the cutest ever.
Bill revealed that he was hesitant about doing the show in the beginning, considering that many stars prefer to keep their private lives well private. When the couple decided to launch their own reality show, they were kissing their privacy goodbye. Still, together, and with the whole world watching, they embarked on their new journey. But in hindsight, Bill says it was all worth it. One of the best compliments he'd ever received was when a woman approached him and Giuliana to thank them for showcasing a quote healthy relationship on TV. She reportedly said that she hoped her daughters would find a relationship like theirs someday too. Ever wonder why so many reality TV couples' marriages dissolve and their shows end in heartache? We're looking at you, John and Kate Gosselin, and Britney Spears and Kevin Federline, and Nick Lachey and Jessica Simpson, and Linda and Hulk Hogan. Okay, you get the point. Reality TV is still TV, and viewers love the drama. Bill explained to the LA Times, "There is that reality show curse, but this show is different. It makes being married cool. There is no flipping tables or cursing at each other. It's very positive."
If you can replicate this, anyone can replicate this.
You promise?
Right?
So how did the duo manage to last through their show and beyond? Giuliana told ABC News it's all thanks to the strong foundation they had already built before the cameras ever started rolling. It can't be easy living in the limelight, but Giuliana and Bill decided early on that they were going to be candid with their viewers about their life together. They weren't going to be anything less than honest on their show, and they were ready to live authentically in the public eye. Giuliana told PR.com, "It was hard at the time, and we had a real heart-to-heart about it. But when we signed up for this show, we knew it was all or nothing. Either show this real side or don't show anything.
This just wasn't our time.
Next time, it'll happen.
There's a bigger plan."
The couple was open about everything, including their struggle with infertility, their journey with IVF and surrogacy, miscarriages, and even Giuliana's battle with breast cancer. When Giuliana was offered the chance to lie and say she didn't want kids, and leave out that part of their struggle, she claimed it just didn't feel right to hide their actual reality. In 2010, Giuliana and Bill endured a heartbreaking miscarriage after a long journey with IVF, and it all played out on camera.
We were in the ultrasound room, and suddenly the nurse started acting a little weird. My heart sank, and I just knew this was not normal.
But while the couple was understandably angry and heartbroken, Giuliana admitted to CNN half the battle is trying to get pregnant, and that they had. Bill revealed that producers gave them the choice to cut the miscarriage from the show, but they ultimately opted to keep it in to reach viewers who may be going through the same thing. Giuliana also didn't want to discourage anyone else from trying IVF by portraying it in a negative light. According to Bill, it was important to both of them to, quote, turn it into a positive by helping other couples. Ever wonder why you really never saw Giuliana or Bill break out into blowout fights on their show? It's because they don't really argue. In fact, they're a pretty drama-free couple, compared to most reality TV pairings.
Hi, everybody. I can't think of our names.
After their fairy tale Italian wedding became the Style Network's highest-rated special, viewers reportedly wanted a taste of the couple's life post-wedding. But Giuliana and Bill never considered themselves, quote, scandalous enough to film their own series. Giuliana told PR.com, "We don't curse each other out, and we don't flip tables over, so we thought we weren't interesting enough to have a reality show." Bill confirmed the sentiment, telling the Associated Press back in 2010 that he and Giuliana don't have the arguments that other couples have. And it might be because they're just not that kind of reality TV crazy. Giuliana and Bill followed the E-host battle with breast cancer, particularly in season 5 of the show. And while the couple was open about her journey on camera, it wasn't always obvious to outsiders just how tough things got for the star.
For me, I just thought, that the results would be fine, and that this was really just a waste of my time, to be honest.
Receiving her breast cancer diagnosis was the, quote, worst, darkest day of Giuliana's life, which she later admitted in a speaking event. But even though she was facing a steep climb, Bill was by her side all the way.
I went from having the absolute worst, darkest day of my life to the absolute best, brightest, most incredible day of my life when we welcomed our baby boy.
Despite the extraordinary challenges, Giuliana beat the disease and has remained cancer-free ever since. Fans closely watched Giuliana cope with the news of her diagnosis and subsequent health journey on the show. Of course, she put on a brave face in front of the cameras, but she was also certainly not shy about showing her raw emotions on TV. While Giuliana was an inspiration for others through her journey, she told New York Live that there was one single reflective moment that happened off camera that changed the course of her recovery.
I'm 7 years cancer-free now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But it was tough, especially those first 5 years.
She explained to the outlet, "After my double mastectomy, I went back to work and I remember getting my hair and makeup done, putting on a pretty dress, and looking in the mirror, and for the first time in a long time, I recognized the face looking back at me, and I thought, you know what? I'm back." The heartening moment also led Giuliana to launch Fabuwish, which she says grants wishes and brings joy to women undergoing treatment for breast cancer.
It's such a hard thing to go through, right? Going through something like breast cancer, but to be able to find a positive is wonderful.
Giuliana may have exhibited an incredible amount of strength and courage on the show, but going through a double mastectomy certainly isn't a walk in the park. She told Glamour in an exclusive interview that she was experiencing unbearable pain at times following her surgery, revealing, "I was screaming and crying. I had 4 drains under and above my breasts, and they're stitched into your skin. When you try to get up, the drains pull, and you feel like knives are poking you inside."
And I remember in my head, as tears were streaming down my face, I was like, why?
Despite the grueling pain, Giuliana made it a goal to walk 3.5 laps around the hospital after waking up from surgery. And just 2 weeks later, Giuliana went back to work. Giuliana and Bill wanted to have a second baby while filming their show, but in a devastating turn of events, the surrogate that had successfully carried their son Duke suffered a miscarriage. Giuliana told Extra in 2014 that she and Bill were crushed when they got the call. Since Giuliana had already experienced a miscarriage herself, she better understood what her surrogate was going through at the time. But the couple took a moment to process the news off camera.
We just kind of wanted to hear the news and then get away from the camera to process it ourselves.
Once they were able to face their own emotions, Giuliana said that they were then focused on making sure their surrogate knew that the miscarriage wasn't her fault. Miscarrying is a common occurrence, as Giuliana explained to the outlet, but they wanted to make sure that their surrogate was mentally and emotionally stable after the loss. Giuliana and Bill experienced a whole lot together while on their show. As fans know, they initially began their relationship as a long-distance couple. Along with struggling with infertility and enduring a long journey with IVF, as well as a miscarriage and their surrogate's miscarriage, Giuliana's personal battle with breast cancer and a double mastectomy was all fodder for the series. On a much happier note, the couple also became parents during their time on the show. All things considered, you can certainly see why Bill considers his and Giuliana's journey to be nothing short of miraculous. He told ABC News, "It's been a miracle if you look at where we've come from. We've had some of the darkest days of our lives to some of the greatest days of our lives."
There weren't many nights where I wouldn't be on the floor, hysterical. Literally just pounding the floor, going, why is this happening to me?
Despite all of the challenges, Giuliana also claimed that they wouldn't trade their journey for anything. Viewers knew that Giuliana and Bill were tirelessly trying to start a family while filming the show. And even after the birth of their son Duke, the cameras kept rolling, which is why it may have come as a surprise when Giuliana and Bill later decided to pull the plug on their show for Duke's sake. Giuliana explained their decision in 2016, telling HuffPost, "The show was a very rewarding experience, but at the same time, we needed to pull back a little bit just because our son is 4, and he was getting to an age where I don't know if I would have wanted to show cameras at his preschool or him going through certain milestones."
Let's not kid each other, it's all about Duke. I mean, the guy is a ratings machine.
Giuliana claimed, quote, "Some things have to be private." And even though she and Bill were always open to sharing their own lives on the show, they simply needed to take a time out in order to protect their son. Giuliana and Bill had the power to make edits to their show, and even cut entire scenes and storylines if they wanted to. Producers gave them a lot of creative authority and frequently checked in with them to make sure that they were comfortable sharing their journey, including all of the highs and lows. Throughout their time on TV, Giuliana and Bill endured many tough times, but they chose not to cut any scenes that had been filmed. This meant sharing big moments like their struggle with infertility, but also small moments too, like for example when they were maybe not looking their best. Giuliana told ABC News, "We get that there's cameras around. We never ever cut anything out of the show. If I look like crap without my makeup, I don't care. We put everything in the show." While many reality TV stars may later cringe at what they said and did on air, Giuliana and Bill don't look back on their show with any regrets. In an interview with E! News, Bill revealed, "There isn't one episode that we're ashamed of. There isn't any flipping tables or drunken fights or pulling at women's hair weaves like some of these other shows. While those shows may rake in the ratings with their sensational storylines, Giuliana is glad they stuck to their guns." She told Ryan Seacrest, We don't have any regrets at all because a lot of people do these shows and are like, what was I thinking? Not at all. So proud of it.
I'm genuinely impressed.
Yay! Round of applause for you!
Before the couple decided to take a break for Duke, Giuliana told E! News that she actually wanted to keep doing the show forever. She admitted that they had been so, quote, clean-cut and unscandalous, and still people tuned in to watch them for multiple seasons. The couple joked that while they're not the kind of people who do drugs or cheat or start tons of drama, so long as they could continue to entertain people, and it wasn't, quote, worse than watching paint dry, they wanted to keep doing the show. The couple ultimately called it quits on filming their show in 2014, but even off-camera, their relationship has been going strong. In an interview with Ryan Seacrest 4 years later, Giuliana teased a possible future iteration of their hit series when she said, "We were so proud of the show, and I wonder if there is a version of it now that Duke is a little older. Maybe we will have to revisit it." After all, Giuliana told HuffPost in 2016 that the reason they took a break from the show in the first place was to protect their young son. But with Duke getting older by the minute, they may just have a reason to get back into it.
Every day, he makes me laugh even harder than the day before and just blows my mind.
Duke also seems to love being in the spotlight, at least according to what his mom told People magazine. He would visit Giuliana at work all the time and even asked her to get him on TV, which he once managed to do all by himself.
Honey, mommy's working.
Think there might be a Giuliana and Bill and Duke reboot in the near future? A season 8 topper on their already sensational run? It sounds like fans will just have to stay tuned to find out. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more list videos about your favorite celebs are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.